this be the year that Richie Porte puts all the misfortune behind him and ends up on the podium of the Tour de France? Now riding for Trek Segafredo, he is the leader for this tour, and as such, he's riding Trek's Emonda. This is the Emonda SLR 9 version, so it's the top of the range bike, and it uses Trek's lightest and most high-tech carbon fibre frame. So it's still the same frame that you can buy at home, but this is right at the top. This is the one that's the race issue, so it's the team edition. So it comes with much more aggressive geometry than the standard Emonda. But if we go through this, probably the first thing that stands out is that colour scheme. This is a Project 1 colour scheme, so it's the custom thing that you can do on a Trek bike, but this is team only. It's similar to what they use for the classics, but they've just updated it a bit for the Tour this year. And as you can see, it's a colour that completely pops. This is so nice. It's like a marbled red, but in some lights, it just shines out. So if we talk you through a little bit about this bike, Richie's not the tallest of guys, so this is a 50cm frame, and he runs a 67.8cm saddle height. Now, if you look as well, we've got then at the front a 10cm stem, and there's around about a 52.5cm reach from the saddle to those handlebars. Trek is sponsored by SRAM for 2019, and as you can see, we have that complete SRAM ETAP group set. This is the brand new wireless 12-speed group set that they released recently, the Axis version, and what we've got here is the disc brake version. So again, like a lot of the teams, Trek Segafredo are running disc brakes for pretty much all of their bikes, barring the time trials. So as I said, this is the Emonda SLR version, so it's that lightest one they do, and it's purportedly about 665 grams for a disc brake frame in a 56cm. So Richie's 50cm frame here, it's got to be a lot lighter than the UCI weight limit. Richie's the team leader for Trek Segafredo, so he's their best of GC hope. And as such, he's chosen the Emonda because he doesn't need that aero advantage of the Domani as a lot of his other teammates are using, because really he shouldn't get his nose out into the wind. So he's opted for the ultimate lightweight bike, the Emonda. Looking through the spec, you can see that this bike uses a lot of Bontrager equipment. So Bontrager are Trek's partner component brands. So we've got the Aeolus XXX wheels on here, so these carbon tubular wheels. Like a lot of the teams, they're still using tubular tyres. And these are the shallower 40mm depth. So, you know, they're still very, very light, but you have that aero advantage from there. He's running Vittoria Corsa tyres, a long sponsor of Trek and one of the fastest tyres in the peloton, and he's opting to run the 25mm tyres here, front and rear, but there's plenty of space for a wider rubber if he does need it with the Emonda. Richie's bike has a full plethora of Bontrager components as well, so we've got a bar and stem on there. Now, unlike the bikes you can buy that top-end SLR, they've gone for the two-piece setup, so a standard bar and stem. This obviously allows much more adjustment, and also in case of crashes, it's a lot easier to change parts on there. There's also a Bontrager saddle, which has got the marking so the mechanics can really set it up exactly to his measurements. And like the rest of the frames, what we've got here is we've got the integrated seat mast, but this again is set up and cut to his size. Like the rest of Trek's team, he's running a Quark power meter, so this is SRAM's own power meter. It measures from that chainring side, but again gives him all the power. And up front we have the Garmin mount, so he's running Garmin's like the rest of the team. So there you have it, Richie Porte's Trek Emonda SLR.